Look, this is the grasshopper playing on the thigh. He dreams of a tryst again among the crunching ears of corn. He warms up his coat and moves his eyes in all directions. Antennas sweep the space and white blood pulses faster. It's summer. The heat makes the horse drunk. He thinks, oh, there. And he is happy. He sways for a moment on the sloping blade and then jumps up to feel the rush of the passing summer, warm words and the smacking of the sun. Being very, very high, vibrates the wingtip momentarily and tilts the abdomen upward. Now it's sinking into the unknown. I don't want to hear specific words. He is not concerned with the contestations and deliberations of individual adversaries. It doesn't make sense, not at all. He is fascinated by the geometry of the flight, the precision of the jump, and landing between spears of sharp grasses. If he had heard the screams of fear over the meadow, he would not have been absorbed by the beak of the swallow, which is also fascinated by the geometry of the flight and the efficiency of swallowed laps. The old fly laughs thickly. A bleached butterfly sways sympathetically on a cornflower. He is a jack of hearts and a knight of mourning ribbon. Wings frayed in more than one struggle for survival. He's already freed himself from the sticky web twice. He knows what it's like to be almost dinner. Currently, he is a patron and sailor against the wind. The eyes of the little creatures admire him. He tells a little, but not too much, about his bravery, giving food for thought, making the hyperactive to reflect, cooling the impulses and anticipating the result. The fly is so old that it doesn't remember anything. Even if you do a head loop and land on the ceiling. It flies low over the meadow. Slowly. Anyone can admire it. And she may laugh while flying. Last summer, she made herself a saliva hammock. Remember when a veteran caused by the divine Ishtar fell in love with a dead girl that Tariq had placed in his earring? Yeah, the veteran did not know this feeling and wanted to feel it with all of himself. He put the bacon aside and stared stubbornly at the mist that wrapped around the girl's body. He tried to explore her being, but it was flying away through all the gaps in her body, hovering more and more confidently over the body and accumulating something vague into one. Time to get fully involved. The veteran hissed strongly. Who you are? Housefly, widow of an unknown soldier, and I only attend funerals in church. She said through crushed lungs. Prove it, said the veteran. Tariq admired her smooth movements. Well, this woman is the real cause. Leave the hat in the kitchen. It is not surprising, the veteran is already here. Tariq sighed, shaking. I hope you like this Madeira, she said, and hummed under her breath somehow, passionately. The third hour beats. He drinks the poison, he drinks the poison. The delicacy of your coat, chiseled buttons. The good taste visible in the cut of the garment, the exquisite scarf and gloves prove a seasoned hand in conducting business. The fly looked at the veteran and he licked her a drop of jam. Can't we silence this? She asked. His chances had diminished considerably, and he was drenched with tenderness again. It all became clear because this feeling took hold of his self. He wanted it, and suddenly he was subject to love. 1 paper cup of hot coffee. Sour. He looked at the girl and brought his hand to her. She touched his hand. He didn't feel her cold. I like good days, straight roads and bumpy trails. Steep paths when the water laps your feet, and I would like to slowly, gently, hand in hand, walk with you. The road is constantly changing. The veteran didn't understand what he was saying. But it made sense in this situation. There was space around the corner. Each pair of eyes was directed at him. The shapes that emerged from it beckoned in a friendly welcome to the new life. So he belongs to this world and he must remain flexible in the particle when he goes home, pulling elastic threads of gelatin, which always elongate. He twisted his mustache. You have to have balls to take chances. But I have a 10-year-old seeds. This is not the same. I want my big balls. As before. But these balls are not me. How am I supposed to do anything with such little grapes? Squeeze the pips? The largest bull in the herd eats first and goes to the butcher first. No, when he's smarter than a butcher. When your eyes grow foggy and your heart follows a blind path, you walk away alone to the silence with choirs of angels written off. Already their voices wither, their lips rang out. Already the purity of their breath touches the dawn. However, you are looking for respite among the choirs. In this silence, the crystal rings in your mind. You squeeze the large wings of their Latin letter through your ears. Hallelujah, hallelujah. You are resting between them, suspended in the stillness and inertia of white. What cream do angels use? Strawberry to smooth cracked heels? What do ballet soloists stuff their panties with? Sand and small coins? Or maybe flour? Plaster mixed with shamelessness. Powder for babies? The white movements of helplessness show their brains. The soul of the mime weeps and trembles like a dry leaf. Somewhere in the nooks and crannies, he wants to fly in the sweetness of good words. The wheel is the perfect move when you are dancing. Don't finish it perfectly or it will be boring. They will scare their grandchildren for ages, giving their grandchildren water like life. Mr. Green lives in the shell. Lord of anxiety and love. He exposed himself in forest skins. The veteran sat in the carriage and thought stubbornly about the stillness. In fact, it was the trick of Ishtar that thereby kept the veteran on Earth in the human world. She couldn't let him extend. She didn't want him to go too far in the carriage.